Well, you all must have been very good this week. On this week's bio episode, we take a look back at our not-that-old sorcerer, Saeleas.
Welcome to Knights of the Rolled Table, the bio episodes for Season 2.
Yay!
This is going to be a little bit more casual, but we're going to talk to our players and get to know them a little bit better and talk about their characters in Season 2. So with us, we have everybody introduce themselves. First of all, I am Chris Daly. I'm your Dungeon Master and your host for the bio episodes.
Yay!
I'm Weston, and I'll be your peanut gallery today.
Weston plays coach.
I'm confused. I'm Jen, and I get to do another bio now because I'm playing Sarsa.
Woohoo.
Double up. And I'm Zach. I get to do my first bio because I have a character now, and I'm Jarek Dark Harbor.
Woo!
That's right.
And I'm Matt, and I'm Saeleas.
Yes.
Yeah, well.
All right, so first, this week we're going to focus on Saeleas. Did we ever learn about Saeleas' last name?
Nope.
Okay, we'll get to that. So first of all, let's learn a little bit about Matt. Matt, tell us about yourself, Matt Messerman, about yourself,
What do you wanna know?
what you do, how you got into D&D.
Famous podcaster, Matt Messerman.
Oh, yeah. Very famous, accidentally. I am a software architect. Have been for years. I actually started playing D&D in high school with just one friend who was the Dungeon Master, and that was back in like D&D. And then I played again in college and died very quickly in my first campaign.
Not really died, just died in character. Right?
No, I died.
Oh, wow.
I got better.
No, it came revivify. Good.
Yeah. And then I didn't get to play again for several years, pretty much until this group formed. And it's been a lot
So
of
Matt
fun.
is one of our National Comedy Theater improvisers that several of us perform with. And I met Matt through NCT as well. And he's been part of the group since we started it.
You played D&D in high school with one other person that was the Dungeon Master. Does that mean it was you and that person?
Yep.
What were you?
It was a solo campaign?
Yeah, that's what he said.
I was...
Tell us more about this.
If I remember
Paint us a
correctly,
picture.
I was a rogue. Mm-hmm. What's the race that Mark's character was?
Oh,
Tabaxi?
I don't feel like that was... Is there another cat race? Because I feel like I was some sort of cat race, but it must have been Tabaxi.
Mm-hmm.
But that name didn't sound familiar to me when we pulled it back up. Realized high school was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I...
Weston's going to look it up.
Oh, I am. You know I am.
All I remember is that it involved spreadsheets because that
you were
was,
like, spreadsheets, yes!
Yeah. Oh, no, I was... that is one of the reasons I didn't play for so long. I played
How long did you
Broken
guys play for, you and your friend?
A couple months.
Nice.
It wasn't very long. We had a bit of a falling out at some point.
Over that or separate?
That's separate.
Okay. We'll talk
We'll
about that
get you,
later.
Matt's friend.
Yeah. And then in college, I also played a rogue. And in our first encounter, they were like, all right, there's all these kobolds up there. And I was like, oh, cool. I'll run up and attack them. And that's not a good thing for a rogue to do, apparently, because I immediately died.
Yep.
So Saeleas is a sorcerer. Originally, when we played him in a text-based campaign that I ran, Saeleas was not a sorcerer.
Hey, it was a warlock back then.
He was a warlock. And we did sort of talk with Matt and say, we already kind of we've had a warlock in Season 2. We have a sort of a half warlock with Jarek.
We had Jessica played a warlock
and
in
Jessica
the
was a
how-to campaign, and then she was still playing part warlock when she was
And Maya
Lyra.
was technically a
Maya is
warlock.
a warlock, and Jarek's
Although
a
not
little
very
bit warlock.
warlocky.
We were like, okay, Matt, there's other races in this game. We
other
should probably
classes, yeah.
Their
play-
classes.
We should probably play some other class than like the 3 that we've been reviewing.
So Matt was kind enough to look at some other classes, and we figured that. Why did we decide sorcerer was a good fit for Saeleas?
I think we decided wizard was the right fit, and I went to do it. I was like, there's too many options. I can't do this. This requires me knowing too much at one point at any given time. So sorcerer felt like the right fit at that point.
I kind of like the idea, though, of somebody getting their sorcerer powers. Now he's not old, but later in life.
Well,
like,
that was the
not
whole
young.
idea behind the character in the first place.
Yeah.
Was like I wanted a character who didn't have a tragic backstory and was like middle-aged and like, oh, cool, I'm going to go on an adventure.
Yeah, and he gets these powers, and he just starts getting really enthusiastic. But yeah, he doesn't really have a tragic backstory. He's happily married to his husband, Jabin, who's the actor.
Despite your best efforts.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, there's drama. I'm basing
Just
I'm
because he
basing
doesn't
my-
have a just because he doesn't have a tragic backstory doesn't mean that bad things can't happen to him now.
Yeah. Now he's in it.
Yeah.
You've already defied the trope.
That's right.
True.
Yeah, and he's had a couple of wild magic fumbles. He lost all his hair at one point, but so what kind of scene do you imagine us playing of Saeleas' backstory?
Well, I could see a couple options, but I kind of feel like the interesting part of his backstory would be when he decides that he's going to go on an adventure. I don't know if that's when he suddenly gains the wild magic ability or when he has this conversation with Jabin about like,
Sure.
hey, I'm 100 years old. I'm going to go on an adventure now.
It's like, I'm going to go join the army conversation. I'm going to go on an adventure. I'm
Pretty much.
100-year-old elf, which,
It's a little midlife crisis.
it's a midlife crisis conversation. But and when does he get the ability, do you think?
Like, where does he get it? Or
Yeah, when does he first notice like the kind of the flare up of like, oh, I'm a sorcerer?
I had assumed it happened in the library he worked at.
In a library he worked at. Okay.
Yeah.
And what city was this in?
I think Valentrell is what we
Okay.
had decided made
Valentrell
sense.
in the realm of Volcara, which is another one that we sort of talked about, where Jarek's dad is actually kind of in charge of some stuff.
Spoilers.
They might not know anything, but know each other. But all right, so we're
had
gonna.
the book just been like sitting there the whole time, and he came across it, or it got delivered? Like, how did he find that book? You think?
Oh, I assumed it was in the archives. That in my mind, he had been digging through some older books and maybe shelving them. I was like, ooh, what's this one?
And this one's on unicorns. And
Yeah.
it's
All
over
right, so
here.
we'll discover what that book is. We're going to do a scene where Saeleas is in a library that he worked at. We'll just kind of see what happens and how this plays out.
Right.
Let's go back in time with Saeleas.
Well, sir, I'm looking for a book of different types of threads. Do you have any books that might have different types of threads to talk about different types?
Threads or threats?
Threads.
Oh, okay. Well, threads. Well, if you go to the sewing section, are you more interested in making your own thread?
It just depends on what is most flammable.
Oh, flammable threads. Well, perhaps if we cross-reference both fire and sewing, perhaps we could find something in there.
That sounds great.
Okay, if you go down to that section over there and hang a left at the third row of books, you should find what you're looking for.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good one.
Saeleas, may I talk with you for a second, please?
Of course. Hello.
Hi. Let's be careful recommending people that want to get books on flammable things.
Well,
We
as
want to
long as-
watch out for those dangerous types of people.
As long as they don't
excuse
make it
me.
in the
Excuse
library.
me.
Yes.
Hello?
Sorry to interrupt. I had a request.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just wanting to see if you had any books on necromancy.
Oh, I read a wonderful book on
Saeleas,
necromancy
What did
recently.
I just talk about?
I mean, I just want to know how to reanimate dead tissues.
Are you looking for a fiction or non-fiction? 'Cause
Oh,
I've read
nonfiction,
both.
please. I'm interested in practical applications.
Non-fiction book. Well, the encyclopedias.
Saeleas.
Oh, sorry. We are out of that book.
Ah, fiddlesticks.
I think you'll find some of the fictional stories of necromancy on the second floor in the B section. Will be quite fascinating.
There's a
doesn't-
wonderful illustrated book called the Strolling Dead People.
Maybe I can reverse engineer it from that. I would say thank you, but I wouldn't mean it.
Oh, that was quite rude.
Listen, why don't you let me handle the inquiry desk for a bit? Can you go up to the third floor? It hasn't been cleaned in a while.
Excuse
Of course,
me.
Karis. Oh, what? Yes.
I'll handle it. Yes, sir.
I was just wondering if you had any books about how to change common farm animals into something that would eat children. like sheep or cows or whatever?
That the transmutative.
Transmutative.
We wouldn't have
Oh,
any.
get it? Transmutative. That'd be good for cows.
Yes, that wouldn't be available in this library.
Okay, you guys.
The Library of Storms does not carry such books.
I'm going to go to the Library of Lighting down the street. They'll give me whatever I want.
Saeleas, can you go to the 3rd floor, please?
Yes, Garrus, but I feel like we should be more. The customer is always right, even if they're not paying us.
Yes, but there's a lot of danger in the world, Saeleas, and if you had any kind of magical ability, you would know that. But being a simple half-elf and a librarian all your life, you don't. So please, clean.
Well, I've read about it. Fine. I'll go to the 3rd floor.
And Saeleas is on the 3rd floor.
So he's sort of poking around, dusting books.
Oh, hey, we thought, my girlfriend and I thought we would be, nobody ever comes up here.
Yeah, sorry, just
really,
excuse
we'll
just
just
a
go.
second.
We'll go up to the 5th floor stacks.
Oh, if you are
This
you
is
looking
a
for
very,
books on
very
anatomy?
It's very exciting
No, we
subject
got it.
matter.
It seems like you were doing some.
We're going to go upstairs. Thank you. Thank
Well,
you
the
for your help.
anatomy section is on the 4th floor.
Cool.
Well, that was
So
odd.
they leave.
Slaves will poke around and
All right. You see
books.
a couple. You've been up here before in the 3rd floor, but you haven't seen some of these books on the top shelf. They are very dusty, so you kind of dust those off. And one of them it has got a silver binding with several black bands on its top and bottom, and it kind of catches your eye. It's very shiny.
Haven't seen this before.
Hey, you.
What? Are you still here? I sent you to the 4th floor. Little couple.
Up here,
What?
Saeleas.
Who? Is this the book?
Open me, Saeleas.
Is this happening to me?
Touch my leather.
And he reaches up and he say it like that. He reaches up and he grabs the book.
Ooh, yes.
Oh, hello, book.
Thumb the pages, Saeleas.
Do you have a name, book?
Read me.
Read me, okay.
And he flips it open and he starts leafing through.
And the pages start flipping themselves.
Oh my! This is exciting. Nothing like this has ever happened to me before.
An ancient power, Saeleas.
It calls to you.
And it flips to a page, and the inscription on the heading says "Wild Magic."
Wild magic?
And then at that moment,
Wild magic.
you
Wild magic.
you feel this kind of urge
Doesn't belong in this section.
in your blood. You kind of feel this urge reach down, and you feel a resurgence of power that you haven't felt in years since you were a younger elf.
Wild.
And it's pretty wild. And you start reading feverishly. You're pretty good at reading, but you start reading more and more and more. And we hear this kind of rock music in the background.
Of course.
Wild magic.
No, hold on. You start here. You start seeing a montage of Saeleas like flipping through, and he's just sitting down at a table, and he's pacing around reading this book, and it's all about it. And he kind of closes at one point, stops the montage, and then it goes into Saeleas, and he kind of lifts his head up.
Of course. Wait.
And he reaches out his hand. He's in the library, so it's probably a bad idea. He points at some papers over in a corner in a bin and tries to like light them on fire.
Nothing happens when you just shake your hand at it.
Maybe I need to say something. Perhaps like a fire.
A burst of fire flings out from your fingers.
Oh no!
Has a canteen and like sort of dumps it on it.
Saeleas, what are you doing? What
waste
did you
paper-
cause this fire?
It happened on its own.
Why would you set a fire in a library? That's extremely bad.
Well, I agree. Books are very important. We don't want to damage them. We should put this fire out right away.
Saeleas, what do you think you're doing with your life? You're wasting time with books.
Wasting time. Books are the most important thing
I
in
mean,
the world.
I work
That is
here.
where knowledge comes from.
Saeleas, I'm your supervisor, and I don't even like working here. Why?
Perhaps I should have your job.
Well, let's not jump to conclusions.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, sir.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but there's a mess on floor number 4.
I do not want to clean that up.
Why don't you go home?
Excuse me, do you guys have any books on causing plagues?
All right, we'll call it there.
6th floor.